This is the last in a three-part series looking at reading instruction for students with developmental cognitive disabilities, just some big picture ideas. And I've talked about David Cadham's book, Monograph, published by CEC in a previous video. First of all, students with developmental cognitive disabilities research shows that if they receive instruction, they can make gains in word identification, reading comprehension, writing strategies, and understanding how language works. Oftentimes they don't make gains because they aren't given instruction. Nobody can learn well without instruction. However, with any population, there's no single strategy or method that works best. Effective teachers have a toolbox full of strategies. If anyone comes to you and says, this is the strategy that you must use, run from them because they are mistaken. Students are not standardized products. Every student needs a little of this, a little less of that. They are varied products. Now, the reading readiness versus the emergent literacy approach. Reading readiness is not a good idea. This says that learners must be ready before we let them read. So we spend the early years drill and practicing in a bunch of sub-skills, letter identification, barking at print, blah, blah, blah. First you learn your consonants, then your blends, then your short vowels. And they have a series of skills. This is absolute poppycock. This is not how human beings learn. The emergent approach, which reflects a progressive or whole language, says that literacy emerges just like language emerges if you are immersed in authentic literacy experiences. Just like our ability to use language emerged because we're immersed in authentic speaking and listening experiences. We teach skills in reading as students are ready for it, not in a predetermined order. We see they're having trouble with this skill or that. We take note, we are observers, and then we teach it. We do teach word recognition strategies in this progressive approach, but we don't just teach phonics. Sounding out words is not reading. Reading is creating meaning with text. We also teach children how to use context clues. Use the context strategy. Use clothes to help them develop it. That's a teaching strategy. Ask children, what makes sense? If they come to a word they don't recognize it, what word makes sense in that sentence? We teach them about structural analysis, sometimes called morphemic analysis, looking at prefixes, suffixes, and root words. And no, I'm not going to go into all the strategies here. Save that for another video, and there are other lectures on that. Word analogies. Teach children to look for familiar parts or word families or phonograms. Onset-rime and word building are two teaching strategies. And then phonics or phonetic analysis, using letter cues to recognize a word. And efficient readers use minimal letter cues. They do not sound out every single letter in the word. All right, big picture idea for all students, but students with DCD are not a different species. They are human beings. All human beings learn the same. Some may need a little more of this and a little less of that, but humans learn language the same way.